Hello, MUS119. This is Module 3D, which describes major and minor key signatures, and the circle of fifths, which is a tool that will be able to help you with key signatures. So what are key signatures? Essentially, they are a shorthand for composers so that they don't have to write in every single accidental, aka the sharps and flats. In keys where you have 6 or sharp flats, that can be a lot of accidentals. So the key signature assumes the accidental is present in each measure, meaning that whatever accidentals you see in the key signature should be applied to each note. A note in the key signature can be canceled out with a written-in accidental in a measure. This temporary accidental only lasts for one measure, and I'll show you on an example in the next slide. So what you have here is a trombone excerpt, and I just kind of wanted to go through it to show you. So what you have written out is over here you have your key signature, so you just have one sharp, which is F. So that means that for every single sharp, or for every single F that you have, you're going to play that as an F sharp. So instead of having to mark in every single F sharp, they're just going to assume that you know that. Then you have these accidentals that are written in as well, so they cancel out other notes. So over here, you got your D sharp and G sharp. Over here, you have an F natural and C natural. So over here in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th measure, you're canceling out the natural. You're making it sharp, but you're only going to play D sharp and G sharp in that measure where it's highlighted. Same with over here with the C sharp and your F sharp and C natural. This C natural is more of a courtesy C natural because you just had a C sharp over here. But these Fs are canceling out that F sharp. This is reminding you, hey, play F sharp again, because it changed so many times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this on the trombone so that you're able to hear it, and I can play it a little bit in a few different ways. But I'm going to just play what's written first so that you're able to hear it. I hope that it doesn't come across too boomy for you over there on the video lecture. So I actually did miss an F sharp over here. Oops. I missed an F sharp over here. And I played an F natural instead. But that's the basic gist of it. Now, if I were to play starting over here, where I put this star, with an F sharp instead, how does that change the tonality? I'll play what's written first. As opposed to with an F sharp, which is written in the key signature. So that just doesn't sound right. I think they're modulating or changing to a different key. So that's why we have the F naturals written in. Because that's a thing too, where you can change keys in the middle of a piece. So I wanted to go over with you the order of sharps and flats that are needed to write our own key signatures. So to write our own key signatures, we need to know the order of sharps and flats. for each key, we don't just pick a few random accidentals that are nice together. We use the notes from that key that we are in to establish that key signature, and we're never going to mix sharps and flats together. So the order of flats is B, E, A, D, G, C, F. So B, G, C, F, or B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, F flat. So remember that as B, G, C, F. That's what I learned growing up. And then the order of sharps is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp. So Father Charles goes down and ends battle, or what I learned, fat cats go down alleys eating bagels. We never are going to mix sharps and flats together in the same key. So I want to show you essentially how do you write the order of flats and sharps in bass clef and treble clef. So I'll write treble clef on the top, bass clef on the bottom. And they're going to be a little bit different just by one line because their notes are located in different spots. So if I wrote a B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, F flat. That's my order of flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, F flat for bass clef. Then you have the order of sharps, which is F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Fat cats go down alleys eating bagels. And that's the order of sharps. So, if I was writing a key signature for something that had 2 or 3 flats, let's say 3 flats, you have B, you're going to write them in this order. You're just going to take the first 3 flats that you wrote. So, over here and over here. So, B flat, E flat, A flat, right? And then over here you have B flat, E flat, A flat. So, it would be the same thing. Notice that your B flat, in treble clef, it's different. It's up one line from the bass clef line, so everything is centered on the B flat line in the middle line, whereas in bass clef, your B flat is on the second line. So you'll use this for everything that you're doing. So like if I asked you to write the key signature for the key of E major, the key of E major has 4 sharps. So I would write out your F, C, G, D, and then F, C, G, D. They always need to be located in this same spot. This is like a universal thing that I don't know the answer to as to why it has to be there, but it has to be in those lines and spaces exactly, or else I'll have to mark that as incorrect. So that is where you should write them. Also, if you Google order of sharps and flats on Google, you'll be able to see something probably similar to this. So how do I know which keys have which accidentals? Which is a great thing. So we're going back to this example again because it's a good one to help us learn. So I want you to look over here. So we have 1 sharp, right? And I want you to look at the first and the last note of this piece. So the first note we have is a G, right? And the last note we have is a G. So typically the pieces that we're looking at will always start and end on the notes that are tonic. Which in this case is G. And that's true because G major only has 1 sharp. Sometimes it might not be as obvious in a piece because the note may start on the 3rd or the 5th note of the scale. However, for this, it really works well. So that's how you're able to tell in terms of like a piece of music. However, you can use this tool called the circle of fifths to remember what number of accidentals belong to each key. There is a major and a minor version of the circle of fifths, and the minor key circle of fifths refers to the natural minor scale. So, as a reminder, the natural minor scale is similar to a major scale, but with the scale degrees 3, 6, and 7 lowered by 1/2 step. Or you can think about natural minor scales being the following whole and half steps. Whole, half, whole, half, whole. So this is the major key circle of fifths, and I want to go through this with you to help you be able to fill it out and understand it. You can follow along on exercise 4A if you would like to print it out. So you have the circle of fifths in major keys, right? So you have no sharps, no flats. We know that is C major, right? And then from there we can move up or down. So let's start by moving up. So we're counting in terms of fifths, right? So we're going to count up using our C as 1. So C, 1, D, E, F, G. I'm just counting up 5 note names, and then I get G, right? Then I'm looking above G. I'm going to count up 5 note names, counting G as 1. So G, A, B, C, D. D has 2 sharps, the key of D. Now counting up from D, we have D, E, F, G, A. A major has 3 sharps. A, B, C, D, E. E major has 4 sharps. Now I'm going to continue using my sharps through down here. I have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. Then F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. So you're probably saying to yourself, well, JT, why were you counting with sharps? So every key that we just listed has A sharp in it, except for C, right? So G, your 1 sharp, if you think about the order of sharps, if you think about the order of sharps, you have F sharp, C sharp, where Charles goes down and ends battle, right? So this is my order of sharps. And that is applicable to the circle of fifths. Why? Because you have 1 sharp over here for G, right? The 1 sharp that you're going to have is F sharp. The 2 sharps that you're going to have in the key of D are F sharp and C sharp. In the key of A, you'll add that G sharp. In the key of E, you'll have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, right? In the key of B, you'll have all 5 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. Then you're going to add another one, which is E sharp in the key of F, and B sharp in the key of C sharp. So you could look at these as the leading tones, because these are the leading tones to, or a half step below what the key is here. So like if you look, what's 1 half step below G? F sharp. So you know that F sharp is your sharps, right? What about if we look at the key of E, right? We look at the key of E and you say to yourself, oh, cool, what's 1 half step below E? Oh, D sharp, cool. Well, I know that I'm going to have D sharp and everything below it in the key of E, right? What about in the key of B? Oh, what's 1 half step below B? You have A sharp, right? So you have A sharp and all the other sharps below it. So I started counting in sharps because if you go up above E, so you have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, right? And then from B, you have B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. An F would be wrong because an F falls on the flat side of the circle of fifths. So essentially I'm just counting up, and from like every spot that I'm starting, so like C, I'm starting C, D, E, F, G, right? G, A, B, C, D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. I'm thinking about it in terms of that key. So like in the in the key of D, right, you have 2 sharps. So you have an F sharp and a C sharp, right? So I have D, E, F sharp, G, A. So I'm thinking, oh, in the key of D, A is our 5th scale degree. Now moving up to A, I have A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, right? So then E is my 5th scale degree, so that goes here. Now I'm going to think in the key of E. I have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, right? B goes down here. And then B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. Because in the key of B major, we have an F sharp. That's why it has to go there, and that's why it has to be an F sharp. So for all of these, I'm thinking in the key respectively, and I'm not thinking in the key for longer than going up to the next note name. So for the flat side, we're just going to do the same thing, but we're going to go down. So instead of having C, D, E, F, G, we're going to start C, B, A, G, F. So F major has 1 flat. F, E flat, F, E, D, C, B flat. B flat. See, again, I'm thinking in the key. So F, E, D, C, B flat, right? Now B flat, A, G, F, E flat, because in the key of B flat, you have B flat, E flat, right? So I wrote up my order of flats so that we could see it. 3 flats. So we're going to start with E flat, D, C, B flat, A flat. 3 flats. Because I'm thinking in the key of E flat over here, which I know has 3 flats, which are going to be B flat, E flat, and A flat, right? Now starting from A flat, I'm going to have 4 flats. So A flat, G, F, E flat, D flat, right? Because that would be my 4th flat. So D flat goes here. Now we go into the enharmonic keys, which we know are 2 pitches that sound the same because they have the same spot on the piano, but look differently. So they sound the same but look different. So C sharp. So C sharp is written here, right? Hold up, I did that wrong. I went too fast in my head. We have E flat here, right? So we got that E flat to A flat. So your A flat goes here because I'm thinking in the key of E flat. Now we have D flat, right? So I'm going down A, G, F, E flat, D flat. Sorry about that. So you can double check yourself and say C sharp and D flat. Those are 2 notes that are enharmonic to each other. F sharp and G flat and B natural and C flat. So I will continue doing this, but you have D flat, right? D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat. Boom. The key of G flat has 6 flats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So if I'm looking, what am I going to write after G flat? Well, spoiler alert, we know it's C flat, but G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C flat, right? Because C flat is the 6th flat in the key of G flat. So you're thinking in terms of each key. So let me erase this for you guys, so that hopefully it's a little bit of a helpful tool. You could also Google circle fifths to be able to see this, or even look in the textbook. Okay, so that's the major key circle of fifths. Then you have the minor key circle of fifths. So you can think about this in one of 2 ways. You could think about it as, well, I know that A minor is kind of like my home base with no sharps, no flats, right? And you can count up and down and do the same thing. Or you can think about it as, okay, well, in my major key, if I count up 6 scale degrees in whatever key I am in, I can get the relative minor scale. So you have G, right? Or start with C, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, right? And that gets us to A minor. G, A, B, C, D, E. So I know that E minor has 1 sharp. The next one that we can count is, you could count up from E. So you have E, F sharp, G, A, B, right? So it's B. One other thing to note, like another pattern that can prove to be useful for you, is that you have an A here. You're going up by scale steps. So A, B, C sharp, here, skip, D sharp, right? And then over here you have E, F sharp. And then what's 1 whole step above F sharp? You have G sharp. What's 1 whole step above G sharp? A sharp. So that's one way that you can go about filling it in. Or you could count classically for the minor circle of fifths. You can go up and then say, oh, we have a B, right? So B here, we have a B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. Oh, F sharp here. Great, we're going to count up in the key of F sharp. So F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, right? Great. Now we're in the key of C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. And that's how I'm getting all of those. So you're just counting up in the key. Or you can look at the relative major scale that you have by counting up 3 scale degrees from your minor scale, or 6 scale degrees from the major scale. So we know over here in major you have a G, right? So you have G, A, B, C, D, E. Over here in the 2 sharps lane you have a D, right? So you can count in the key of D major, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. So you have B as your 2 sharps in a minor key. For here you have an A, right? A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. Boom. Over here you have an E. You have an E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp. Boom. So you could do that. And the same thing works for the flats as well. So over here, you typically have an F, right? So you have F, G, A, B flat, C, D. Okay, so D in a minor key is there. And then you could do the same thing. What's one, you have here, B flat, right? B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. So notice for this relative connection that I'm counting up 6 scale degrees in the major key is what I'm doing right now. So over here you have E flat. And notice that I'm still counting up even though we're going into flats land, because I'm finding another tonic that has the same amount of flats in it rather than finding the tonic from based off of like A or another sharp key, and I'm going like literally down. Yeah, so then over here you have E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. So C minor. And you could also do the same thing with your half steps. What's one half step below G? F. Okay, so F has one half step. What's one half step below F? E flat. Great. And then if you look over here, you have a D, C, and then what's one half step below that? Oh, B flat. I know that checks because I have an A sharp and a B flat. I have a G sharp and what would be an A flat. So you could do it that way as well. So I hope that this was helpful. You don't personally, for this summer term section, have to fill in the circle of fifths, but I wanted you to have an understanding of it so that you kind of know what's up with it, because it is a really useful tool for you to have. So I wanted you to practice exercise 4E, writing in the key signatures. So this, we're going to remember our orders of flats and sharps. So we have B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, F flat, right? And then we have F sharp, C sharp goes down, Allie's eating bread. Okay, great. So what you're doing here is practicing writing the key signature. So what you're going to do is write the sharps, amount of sharps or flats in your key signature, and then write the tonic next to it, so the starting note of that key. So here we have D flat major, right? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at my major circle of fifths, and I have D flat here under 5 flats. So what I'm going to do is write out all 5 flats. So first I'm going to look, I'm going to say D flat major has 5 flats. It might be helpful for you to write them in first, like 5 flats. D major has 2 sharps, C sharp has 7 sharps, E flat has 3 flats, all that like next to it, right? So then you can say to yourself, cool, I'm going to write out my order of flats now. I'm going to stop at number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to stop at G flat. So I have B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. And that's it. Write a tonic next to it. D major, I know it has 2 sharps just because I haven't memorized, but you can look at your circle of fifths and say F sharp, C sharp, boom, that's it. I'm just stopping at those first 2. And then you're going to write a D there. There's no need to, with the key signature, write a D flat like next to it, because your key signature assumes that every D is going to be flat and you have it in your key signature already. Then C sharp major, you're just going to write out all of your 7 sharps. So you have F, C, G, D, A, E, B. And then you're going to write a C next to it. B flat, you're going to write B flat, E flat, A flat, and E flat. Just make sure that you're in the right clef. So here I'm in bass clef, again I'm in treble, then I'm in bass. So this is kind of one of the easier assignments, so use the circle of fifths to help you with that, in terms of writing out your key signature and putting a tonic next to it. Aside from memorization, I really don't have any good way to help you memorize to help you like identify these keys aside from the key signature the circle fifths, in major and minor keys. So 4E has all the major keys, so you can figure out the rest of those. And 4I has the minor keys. So if we're looking, we can look at our minor circle fifths, and you're saying B minor. Okay, cool. B minor, it has 2 sharps. F sharp minor, I know that has 3 sharps. A flat minor, I know that has 7 flats. And G sharp minor, I believe that has 5 sharps. So same thing, same premise goes. So you have B minor, which has 2 sharps. So you're just going to write the first 2 out of your order of sharps. So F and C, and you'll write a B next to it. Just as simple as that. F, C, G for F sharp minor. Boom, 3 sharps. And you can write whatever tonic you want. A flat minor. Oh, okay, I'm going to write all 7 sharps. E, A, D, G, C, F, right? And then write an A. Then we have G sharp minor. You're going to have 5 sharps. So 1, 2, G. Brother Charles goes down, and you're going to write a G. So that's what I'm going to ask that you continue to do using that. Oh, there is actually one way that you can remember major keys. So with sharps, you're going when you're looking, your sharps. So like if you look here, you have D major, right? You have 2 sharps. The last sharp that's written when you identify it is going to be the leading tone to your tonic. So here you have a C sharp. For F sharp major, you have 1, 2, goes down and ends, right? So you have this last sharp, and you look, E sharp is 1/2 step below F sharp. So you know that. And then like something like B flat major that has 2 flats, you're going to go down to the second to last flat that you have. So like A flat major, oh sorry, I'm in the wrong clef. Like A flat major has 4 flats, right? And you'd be able to identify that as, oh, okay, let me see. You have B flat, E flat. I kind of drew that badly. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, right? So that's what's written. And your second to last flat, that's added. So you have B flat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, your third flat here. Or if you have, let's just say you had, theoretically for an example, you had B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, right? I'm looking and I'm like, oh, okay, I have 6 flats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to look at my second to last flat, and I know that that's the key of G flat major. So that's how to go about sharps and flats in a major key. In minor keys, it's also kind of the same, because over here you have B minor with 2 sharps, you have a C sharp, right? That's the second note of the scale, so a whole step above. Minor keys, I personally just look at the circle fifths, but I hope that was helpful for major keys. So with this lecture, follow chapter 4 in the textbook, exercises 4D online, 4F online, 4E, 4I, and 4A, which is extra, not mandatory. It's just the circle fifths outline, contain content from this lecture. So I would recommend filling them out with / after this video. And please email me with any questions. I know this is kind of like a lot of material, but I think after this week it will get a lot easier, because this is kind of like the basic stepping stones for you guys in reading, creating, writing out music. So yeah. Alright. I'll see you next lecture.